Hello everyone, Kaoz here, and welcome to another old school RuneScape video. If you guys caught the community post I made a few days ago, and also the latest Leagues 3 progression video, you might recall that I'm looking for feedback in order to improve these videos, not only to share my experience with as many people as possible, but also to give you my own thoughts and showing you the progress I've been doing with the League since I'm having a lot of fun. Because of that, I am going to put my own twist into the videos, which is basically the Rambly series that I think a lot of people enjoy, especially with the latest videos that we've been pulling, and also showing you what I've been doing in the game, especially as we are right now getting into the fun part, which is bossing. I know a lot of streamers, YouTubers are doing this, but I want to put my own twist into it, so hopefully more people enjoy them, and obviously so it helps out more people maybe understand the leagues, or maybe, if you guys have any questions about it, make sure to let me know. In this first video, I am going to address one question that I get asked a lot during the streams, because as you know, I've been streaming this every single day since it came out, and it is, should I play the League? Is it worth investing time, effort, tears, sweat into a game mode that I know for a fact is going to disappear in only a few weeks? And that is exactly what I want to do. Let's go ahead and answer as many questions as possible and touch on as many topics involving the League as you guys enjoy my progression in, this mode. That's going to be pretty interesting, so let's get right into it. So as you can tell by the title, this very first video is going to discuss, should you play Leagues 3? Not only Leagues 3, was Leagues 1 and 2 worth playing, or is it worth playing Leagues 4, 5, and 6, or even many more if Jagex decides to stick to this game mode, which in my opinion has been fairly popular. More and more players are joining every single year. So, should you play this, or should you invest that time into your main account? When someone asks this question in chat, I always answer the same thing, and it's kind of to help you understand if it's worth doing, if it's worth playing, or if you should, maybe stick around, or maybe do something in your main, and that is the following. So when are you going to stop having access to your main account? I can think of two scenarios. Number one involving Jagex, and another one involving external sources that are, maybe in your control, but if something goes wrong, then obviously it's not going to be on your hands. When it comes to Jagex, when are you going to stop having access to your account? Obviously, if something happens to Jagex itself. If they shut down in years or possibly decades to come, they obviously have to shut down the servers, if worst case scenario, they just keep the game alive, the servers, but they don't keep updating. At some point, if Jagex closes down, Old School RuneScape will cease to exist, well, both Old School and RuneScape 3, and you will have your account completely nuked, and you're gonna, and all of these hours and countless of achievements that we've had in this game are going to be nothing but memories, alright? I don't think that is going to be, a possibility later down the road, but we still have to keep in mind that this is a company that is, possibly eventually, if things go south, it could potentially happen, and that is worst case scenario when it comes to Jagex. When are you going to stop having access to your account in case something else happens that's not dependent on Jagex? You could have your account hacked if you have poor security, if you visit a phishing site, or if you are naughty and cheeky, and if you decide to bot or maybe a real world trade, or something else that happens to your account that gets either stolen and you stop having access to it, or it gets banned because you broke the rules. So that is what's going to happen, and that is how long you will have your account for. If you play by the rules, if Jagex stays alive, and if you do everything as you're supposed to, you are never going to lose access to your account. When it comes to the League, when are you going to stop having access to it? That is, of course, when the League ends. So far, it is going to be March the 2nd. Now, the question is, if this is a temporary game mode that we know is going to end, why do people want to get a Dragon Trophy? Why do people want to max? Why do people want to quest in a temporary game mode? As you guys saw, one of my previous questing series in which there were a lot of bloopers to them. Why do we want to do all of these things over and over again on a mode that we know is going to end? That is basically what I want to, quote-unquote, help you guys maybe make your mind to it if you are still indecisive. And obviously the second one, is it too late to do so? So for the first one, I am going to tell you that Leagues 3 is basically a lot of fun, right? This is mostly fun for people. I mean, I'm speaking for myself, and I'm also speaking for a lot of the mid, late, or end game players in our community. This is really fun because it's basically playing old school RuneScape on steroids. I make the comparison that this game 1 hour spent in the league is basically like 1 week in the real game, right? You can get 99s so fast, and it's basically a way for you to try out the late game as quickly as possible, right? I've been playing for 11 days and I'm already nearing the corrupted gauntlet to start making money, and if someone wants to try this content out, it's basically going to be easy mode, right? You have all of these relics that are going to help you out to do, as much damage and maybe make even more cash. All of these boosted drops that are basically going to be a dopamine rush in order for you, to get your fix every now and then. As I'm going to start doing bossing in the leagues, and maybe the following episode you guys are going to see me doing some PVMing, and that is going to be a ton of fun. But what about the early game players? I've had a lot of people saying, I started my account a couple of weeks ago, a couple of months ago. I'm a player that's started playing around 5 years ago, stopped for a while, and I'm back. Is it still worth playing, and is it too late to start? This is what I want to talk about when it comes to making your own decision, right? So why do I mention stop having access to your account, right? So why can't you play? Is that you are always going to have access to your account if you play by the rules and if you have a good account security. So because of that, you can wait 5, 10 years and you can still get all of those goals in old school RuneScape. In the league, however, since you can play faster and faster, these things are only going to be here for a certain amount of time. And obviously, if you want those points, if you want that trophy, and if you want the enjoyment, and if you want the experience of the late game, you can get that so much faster in the league, and it's basically going to give you a rush. And by the way, sorry for the stutter, that's what happens in many of my live streams, but this is what happens when I'm excited and when I feel passionate about a topic. So when it comes to early and mid game, you might say, I am working on some early game questing, I'm working on Graceful, I'm working on these things that I really want in order to speed up my mid or late game. But to that I ask, if old school RuneScape is going to be here after the league, what's the worst that could happen if you hold those goals until the 2nd of March? The game is going to stay the same. I mean, if you want to log in to make your daily farm runs, maybe get, a couple of goals right there, or maybe get a quick quest in, but then you also want to experience the late game and see what old school RuneScape has to offer, like later down the road, you can definitely do so. If you are at a stage where you are maybe quote-unquote afraid or intimidated to do maybe some endgame bossing, this game is also the perfect time to try it out. For example, in order to get more points and more tasks, I am going to try Zulrah for the very first time. After I grind the corrupted gauntlet, I am going to go for the Bow of Verdinian, Bofo, whatever you call it. And whenever I have a trident, which I don't really think it's that necessary to do in Zulrah, especially in the league, I am going to give it a try. As you guys know, I have one Zulrah KC on my main. That's no troll, I only did it for the diary. And I am actually pretty excited to start doing Zulrah in the league, because that is also a way for me to, gain confidence and see, Zulrah is really not that bad. So let me try it in the league, and then if I like it, I am going to try it out in the main game. So if you guys are in the early to mid game, is it worth playing? Definitely. That is going to give you a taste of what's to come. And if you are in the mid, late, or end game, it is just another way to fall in love with the game, and that's obviously my case. I am a max player. I think I've mentioned all of the things I have achieved so far, Quest Cape, Achievement Diary, Music Cape, Infernal Max Cape. Pretty much the only thing I don't have in the game, and I don't think I'll ever get, is the Zug Helmet, which, let's just say that the Grandmaster Combat achievements are a little bit out of my reach at this point, but this is a great way to practice all of these bosses for me to, maybe, dip my toes into the water, however you call it. So, to answer the question is, do you want to try out things that you would normally not be able to try, if that's even how you say it, unless you spend weeks, months, or even years into your account in order to get to those goals? Is it too late to start? It is never too late to start. I mean, unless you start playing maybe the last, 3 days and you want to get to, next, that's obviously going to be slightly more difficult. But it's never too late to start, no matter what your goal is, right? I started from day one, and if I was not able to, I would still play even if I had 1 or 2 weeks left, maybe surrounding the goal that I want. Now, obviously, if I want a dragon and if I'm only playing maybe the last 2 days, that's going to be a little difficult. But if you guys start now, you're going to have such a great time trying all of this endgame content for you to try. I mean, even though I think I repeated the word try. And obviously, it is going to be I don't want to say the dopamine rush again, but it's just going to be a way for you to try things that you would normally not be able to do in the main game. And that is basically what's going to, that's basically the enjoyment that you can get out of this game. If I can't potentially have maybe some feedback for this, I think it would be a great idea for Jagex to maybe open this, in future leagues. Open the league to free-to-play players for maybe a week, and then that would be a great way to say, okay, if you guys want to keep going, maybe you can get a discount for your first bond, and then you can go ahead and buy membership or even the premium package if that is still going around, which I think it isn't, but maybe they can do something around that, maybe a special package if you buy membership because of the league, right? So this is the very first thing I want to talk about when it comes to Leagues 3 videos and maybe my thoughts around them, and I have a lot of topics that I want to talk about today. In summary, should early and mid-game players try this out? Definitely, just in case you want to try out what this game is all about, because you can get to end game level, so you can pretty much max the account in 4 or even 5 weeks time, and you can test all of the bosses, all of the skilling methods that this game has to offer. For you guys who are in the late or even end game, such as myself, it is definitely worth it because it is just another way to enjoy the game that we all love, and it's basically like people who enjoy playing DMM. I'm not a fan of PKing, but I guess PKers are huge fans of doing more damage, getting more loot, getting more freezes, doing more special attacks, so it is just a great way for you to fall in love with the game once again, and it is just so different that, even now I am kind of struggling to explain. I go on like really big tangents about this when someone asks this on stream, and this is always what I answer. When people ask, should I play the league? The answer is definitely yes. Now, if you are against playing the league because you are afraid that, maybe you're gonna miss out on some experience as you are playing the league, and if you want to maybe pay more attention to your main account, if you have a hardcore, an Iron Man, any other type of account, I want to hear your opinion in the comments. If this video doesn't convince you to play the league, please let me know why, and I also want to hear the other side of the coin. Why are you guys against the league? There's a lot of people that are kind of intimidated by how grindy it is, but it is just such a great way to try everything out in the game and maybe to set a goal to complete as many tasks as possible and obviously to achieve whatever goal and the trophy that it is that you want to achieve. So if you guys made it this far, please let me know what you think in the comments below, and we are going to go back to our usual giveaways. And if you guys let me know if you are against the league, tell me why it is, and if you are if you are for the league, please let me know what it is that you love the most. After a week on Friday, well, not technically after a week, if you leave a comment telling me what I asked you, I am going to choose a winner at random, and you are going to win a bond. I will announce the winner in the comments, and I am going to pin your comment just so people can see that you won a bond, and then we will get in contact either on Discord or on YouTube. Please make sure to leave your RuneScape username or your Discord ID in the description or in your comment as well. All right? So, yeah, this is the very first one, and in the next one, I want to talk about the possible prices of the Leagues 3 rewards, because that is what a lot of people have been asking as well. So in the next one, I am going to have a little summary about what it is that all of the prices might potentially be priced for, just in case someone wants to get the prices themselves and not pay with the money. Alright? Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you have a great and wonderful week, and yeah, I'll be streaming every single day for the league, and this week is going to be all PVMing, so if you want to join us, make sure to do so, and I'll wait for your guys' comments. Thank you so much for watching, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.